everybody, my name is Jenna and today I'm doing another hashtag finale talk. This time talking about, well, you can probably guess with my hood what I'm talking about. I am of course talking about the Pretty Little Liars season 7A finale. Now, I didn't really know what to expect going into this finale because obviously the last 9 episodes have been really good. Like, no one that I know has been keeping up with them though, so I've had nobody to talk to, which sucks. But that's not the point. The point is these 9 episodes have been incredible. Like, really good storytelling. Everything has been moving forward and we've had mystery, we've had romance, we've had drama, and it's just been a really good season for the show. And I didn't know what was really gonna happen in the finale because I hadn't been sort of keeping, I mean I knew what was going on. I had no idea that it was like dubbed hashtag PLL Death Trap, had no idea about that. Had no idea someone was gonna die. Oh, FYI, I should mention this before I keep going. There will be spoilers in this video for the season 7A finale of Pretty Little Liars, so if you don't want to know what happened, please go and watch the episode and then come back and watch this video and fangirl with me. Ugh. So that's what I was saying. I had no idea it was going to be a PLL death trap. I had no idea someone was going to die. I had no idea what reveals we were going to get, if we were going to get any reveals at all. I didn't know who was going to be in it. I literally knew nothing. So going into the episode, we start out with the previously on Pretty Little Liars, and I watched it and I went, okay, yep, no, I remember all of this. Yeah, I know what's going on when we go into this. Hannah kidnapped Noel and it's all just Hannah. I don't think Hannah did the right thing, but that's neither here nor there right now. So we go into the episode and we start off with the girls and Mona, who just kind of shows up every now and then, and Haleb and everyone, and they're like, oh, we should probably call the police now about this, you know, it's only been however many weeks it's been, but we should probably call the police now. And I'm like, you should have called the police when you had the flash drive to begin with, because then you wouldn't have lost the flash drive and none of this would have happened. And I can't with these girls sometimes. They just irk me. So they finally call the police, and then we get to see Hannah, who is interrogating Noel, and we think she's going to cut him, but turns out she just wants his blood so that she can do a DNA test to find out if he's really Mary's child. Unfortunately, the results come back negative, and I was like, how is he not Mary's child? And then I went, well, you know what, actually that seems too obvious, just like it seems too obvious that Aria is going to be her child simply because AD kept Aria and Noel's as files. So that was a little upsetting to know that he wasn't AD and that Hannah kind of did all of this because she could. But seriously, Mona, I'm gonna jump around a little bit, so excuse me if I don't sort of make coherent sense, but Mona, what is with Mona? Okay, like she just kind of disappears for a few episodes, and then she's all of a sudden she's back in and she's best friends with them, and she's still got all her hacking thing, and she can help. I just don't get it. Also, talking about the deal that Mona made with Jenna though, where Mona's like, oh, you know, so obviously Mona said to Hannah that she's got her uncovered, talking about the keeping Noel's kidnapping under wraps. But then Noel escapes and Noel and Jenna sort of lure the lies away and Mona's nowhere to be found. So what's up with that? What is up with Mona? Has she actually turned from the dark side, or is she still AD? Because I honestly think that she is probably one of my suspects for who AD could be. Before I talk about the big showdown and all the big reveals that happen in the PLL Death Trap though, I want to talk a little bit about the romances that happen in this episode. So the first one that I want to talk about is Ezria. So I've never been a fan of Ezria. All the time they were, you know, she was a student and he was a teacher, never liked it, always thought it was disgusting, couldn't deal with it. Then the next issue that we had was he was an A-ish person, sort of. Not really, but he was collecting data on them all. I just went, you can't be with someone who's been spying on you for the past like however many years. You just can't do it. But this season, when they've sort of gotten back together and they're a lot older, I have sort of come to love them a little bit more as a couple, and when they finally got engaged I was really happy. And then of course the phone call from Nicole, I was like, Aria, should you delete this? Should you not delete this? I get why she did delete it, but honestly it's still a little bit iffy. They could have found Nicole so much sooner, because of course we found out in this episode that Nicole is actually alive and has just been rescued from the camps in Colombia, which is definitely gonna put a bit of a wedge between Aria and Ezra, I think. I don't know how I feel about that. I do really like Ezria now as a couple, so I don't really know how I feel about Nicole sort of coming in. I'm glad Nicole was found and that she's not dead and everything, because I'm not like a horrible person, but at the same time I don't know, I think things are gonna be difficult more so than they already were between the two of them. But Aria definitely did not do herself any favors by rewinding and watching them like reunite on screen. I'm like, girl, turn that TV off, grab yourself a bottle of wine and some chocolate and just drown your sorrows, because that's what I would do. The next romance I want to talk about is Haleb. For the entire series, I've been a Team Haleb fan, definitely, and then Caleb and Spencer got together and for a while I was a Spaleb fan because I thought they were so beautiful, but watching Caleb and Hannah fight and then decide, nah, you know what, we're gonna be together forever. That was a really sweet little moment between Haleb, and it made me love Haleb again, and now I'm again a 100% Haleb shipper. So hopefully they stay together for the rest of the season because we've only got 10 episodes left and I'll be really annoyed if they don't. Then of course there was a romance that I wasn't expecting and wasn't really sure was going to happen. So Emily decided to stay with Allison because the liars were all sort of under lockdown from these cops because they'd told the cops everything, so they were all on lockdown from Noel, and Emily decided to stay with Allison because she didn't really want her to be alone. Allison comes into the bedroom and is sort of like not really with it, and she just comes out with, I'm pregnant. Like, what? You are pregnant? Okay. What are you? Yes, so Allison is pregnant with Archer's baby. I mean, what? Like, that's so beyond not okay. I can't deal with that because Allison just, no. But the romance element was they were sitting on the couch together, Allison and Emily, and Allison kisses Emily, and we all know that they've had kisses in the past. You know, we've never really known Allison's sexual orientation, but she kissed her and Emily goes, no, you're way too vulnerable right now, Ali. And Ali's like, yeah, that's so not why I'm doing it. Kiss me now. And they kissed and I'm like, is Emerson gonna be a thing now? Like, for the rest of the season? Is this an endgame couple? Are they just gonna be together raising Archer's baby? I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I don't really. I think it's weird. I need to change the battery on my camera. 2 seconds. I'm back. The last romance that I need to talk about on the show is Spencer's love life. So I have had a bit of an issue with Spencer's love life for the past forever. I always thought she and Toby were beautiful together, they were adorable, but then of course we got back in this season and she was with Caleb, and I did love her. I thought they were a really cute couple, like I've already said, and I loved Yvonne. I thought that Toby and Yvonne were perfect for each other, and I was really glad when he asked her to marry him and they were going to be together, and it was just, oh, so beautiful. So when Spencer came to Toby's house and was like, bye Toby, I'm gonna miss you, and then asked him for a goodbye kiss, I was like, no. Don't do it, Toby. Just make her leave. Just don't. Of course he didn't, so they kissed, which I was like, oh god, okay, sure, whatever. And then it got worse. So then Yvonne was like, oh, I made us some sandwiches. Let me just go and get a cooler from the house. So she walks into the house and Toby starts to write a text message to Spencer saying like, hey Spence, just letting you know we're leaving. I just wanted to say, and then he just stands there and I swear I was yelling at my television. I was like, don't you do it. Don't you dare say anything that will ruin your engagement to Yvonne. You two are too perfect together. And of course he didn't, so he deleted the message and I was like, yay. And then Yvonne and Toby got in their car and they drove off into the sunset, except it was the middle of the night, and they ended up in a car crash. They can't even leave Rosewood without ending up in a car crash. It is beyond my mind. So now Toby and Yvonne are still in Rosewood and I am not okay with it. I wanted them gone. I wanted them out of Dodge. I wanted them to live out their lives together wherever it was they were going. Now they're not. Now they're still going to be in Rosewood, and that means that there is a chance that Spencer's going to break them up, but I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. Alright, now I'll get to the PLO death trap. Caleb and Mona suck at keeping track of Jenna. Turns out they were watching Sydney the whole time. Sydney, who has not appeared for like ever. And then they did this massive Chloe Bridges is coming back to PLL thing, yay, for like 2 seconds to give Caleb and Mona some drinks and be like, compliments of Jenna Marshall. And I was like, you bitch, I want to cut you. So then we get to the PLO death trap, which they've gone into because Noel has Hannah's camera and they've got Noel's flash drive, and of course they want to do like a switcheroo so that they can't prove that Hannah kidnapped Noel, but it also means that they can't prove that Noel tortured them in the dollhouse. So, dilemma. But I still maintain if they'd given the flash drive to the police when I first suggested it, none of this would have happened. So we get into the house and they go upstairs and they find the camera, they leave the flash drive and it's all great, and then they come back downstairs and then Emily goes, oh wait, I forgot my phone. Why did you even have your phone out in the first place? My god, that was my first question. Hannah and Emily walk back up the stairs and then who do they run into? Oh, they run into Noel freaking Khan, who, as I mentioned before, is not AD. Well, I don't know if he's not AD, but he's not Mary's child, which, Before that, when we first get into the house, we see Mary, and it happened so quickly that I actually thought that I didn't see her. I thought maybe my mum was just like playing tricks on me, but no, she's there. And I'll get to her in a minute. So Hannah and Emily are currently being chased down by Noel, who picks up a pickaxe. I think it's a pickaxe, maybe. It's some form of it's definitely some form of axe that he picks up from like this knight suit of armor thing. I don't know, weird choice of weapon, but what are you gonna do? At the same time, Aria, Spencer, and Ali are being chased down by Jenna, who has a gun, and who gives a gun to a blind girl? It just doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess I get it. Although I really want to know though, what does Jenna have to do with any of this? I mean, I get, yes, okay, the girls did kind of steal her sight, but this goes far beyond losing your eyesight. This is something like far deeper and just far worse. Noel confirms that he and Jenna were working with Charlotte, but still doesn't confirm who killed Charlotte, so we still don't know that, and we still don't know who killed Mrs. De Laurentiis. Those are two questions that I still would really like answers to eventually, please. Wait, no, we did get answers to who killed Charlotte. No, we didn't. Oh my god. Clearly I need to rewatch this season because I don't remember a thing. Jenna cuts the lights so that everyone's sort of on an even playing field, and I don't know if I'd say an even playing field, but Emily and Hannah definitely got ahead of Noel. If you get what I'm saying. That was an awful pun. Oh my god, I am so sorry. So basically, I was not expecting this, but what happened was Hannah gave herself away by grunting first when she sort of shoved him with whatever. I think she had a staff. I don't know. She hit him, and the axe like falls straight into the ground where like part of it's sticking up. And I went, there's something's not right here. And then they push him and they scream and you hear this awful squelching sound, and then Noel's head comes rolling down the stairs, and I was like, Noel just got decapitated. Noel Khan just got freaking decapitated. What is happening? And of course the head comes straight past Aria and Spencer and Ali, and they're just like, it's a head. What? They run back upstairs because they're trying to get to Emily and Hannah. Also they're still trying to get away from Jenna, who sort of kicks Noel's head and doesn't really realize that it is a head, and that's super gross because it's Noel's freaking head. So she goes upstairs and then she shoots, and we hear this awful little scream, and it was from Spencer, and we didn't really know what was happening, and then everyone got downstairs and they're like, oh my god, no, we're locked outside. But Spencer wasn't there, and then we go back upstairs and we find out that Spencer's actually been shot, like right here, I don't know, one of the sides, but basically I think it's like, it's a bad shot basically, like she could die from that shot, although I think we can all pretty much agree that Spencer is gonna live for the next 10 episodes. I just get this feeling that she's gonna be okay. So Jenna is still sort of, you know, chasing her with this gun, but who should knock her down but Mary freaking Drake. Ugh, I cannot deal with Mary Drake because obviously Mary is either still working with AD or knows who they are, or just let them take Jenna, because Jenna got dragged away, and then we saw at the very end of the episode that Jenna is in this van and she's like all disoriented, and she's like, you're AD, aren't you? And it's AD, and he's got his gloves and his hat, his hood. So clearly there is someone else still at play here. But the big reveal that happened in this episode happened when the liars, they all came running up the stairs, and they ran in and they saw Spencer, who was bleeding profusely from this wound, and Mary's there and she's singing some weird, I think she was singing like Hush Little Baby, which is the creepiest freaking song, and then she goes, Spencer, I'd never let anything to happen to you because I'm your mother. Okay. Looking back on it now, I realised that as soon as Spencer was shot and Mary was in the house, it was going to be Spencer. Spencer was always going to be her child. So this means that Spencer is Mary Drake's kid. Who is her dad? How did she end up living with the Hastings? And does that explain why Mrs. De Laurentiis was buried in her backyard? I don't know. Maybe Spencer killed Mrs. De Laurentiis. Who really knows? All I know is that this reveal, I actually didn't expect to get. I was not expecting to find out who Mary's child was in this episode, purely because I was thinking Mary's child is obviously AD or Uber A or Big A or whatever you want to call them, so we're not going to find out who it is in this episode. Well, I was wrong. All in all, this episode was just, I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do now until the last 10 episodes air. Speaking of the last 10 episodes, they air in April next year, not January. No. No, we have to wait till April next year. And let me tell you, I know that these episodes are going to be incredible. I don't think they can do it any other way because we've been waiting for so many years. It will have been 7 years since the show first premiered, because I think it premiered in 2010. Honestly, I think that these guys, they're going to answer every question. They're going to have romance, they're going to have drama, they're going to have more murders. We're going to finally find out who A is. We'll find out who killed Charlotte, who killed Mrs. Denitis. We will find out everything in these last 10 episodes. I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt these are going to be the best 10 episodes of the entire show. But why do we have to wait until April for them? I mean, April is literally 8 months from now. This show has broken me. Funny thing is, when I first started watching it, I didn't even want to watch it in the first place. My sister was watching it and she's like, oh Jenna, I think you'd really like this. So I watched like a few episodes of season 2 of all places and I was like, yeah, this is great. Then I found out that Mona was A, so I didn't bother watching seasons 1 and 2. And then finally I went, no, you know what? I should watch it, but I'm not going to get obsessed with it. Clearly that didn't work. So now I am a very big Pretty Little Liars fan who was like, gives 2 thumbs up, 5 out of 5 stars to this episode. This episode was like A+, fantastic, perfect finale ever. I was really, really in love with it. And now I have to wait 8 months to find out what happens next. All I can say is I definitely know that Spencer will be alive because we will not have another 10 episodes without her, especially since we just found out that she's Mary's second child. It's just, it's not gonna happen. Thanks for watching my hashtag finale talk on Pretty Little Liars season 7A. Let me know down in the comment section below what you thought were the biggest reveals of this episode and how you felt about it. Also let me know what teams you're on. Are you on Team Emerson? Are you on Team Spoby, Haleb, Ezria? I think they're the 4 main teams that we've got. Or do you ship these girls with someone else? I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Also let me know in the comment section below what you're planning on doing to tide yourself over until April next year. Because it's going to be the final 10 episodes, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to watch seasons 1 till now just to sort of see how the story's progressing, and I have given up trying to guess who A is. Honestly, I thought A could have been Spencer. Now I just don't know. Now I have absolutely no clue. I'm thinking if it is, then Spencer obviously has some helpers because, I mean, she was bleeding from the show. There was no way she was getting Jenna into that van and was driving away. That wasn't gonna happen. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.